Hello everyone, Miss Bailey here. I thought you might enjoy this story today, the true story of the three little pigs, and it's told by the wolf. So hopefully you know the story of the three little pigs. This one's a bit of a twist on that. And I read it to the children I was working with today and they loved it and they thought that I should put it on the blog for everybody. So here we go. The true story of the three little pigs by A. Wolf. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way they are. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Okay, let's see whether we change our thoughts on a big bad wolf here and agree that he's not really big and bad. Let's see. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. It seems innocent enough, doesn't it? It's just making a nice birthday cake for his granny. Just a nice, normal birthday cake, I'm sure. So I went next door to ask if I could borrow a cup of sugar. Now the guy next door was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? Just like in the normal story. So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch, and I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffled. Achoo! And I sneezed, a great sneeze. Oh gosh, can you see what's happened? And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. Oh, it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went on to the next house. The guy who lived there was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house and nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffled and, snuffed. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail, wolf's honour. Dear. Do you think that's really how it happened? Or do you think really it's like in the real story, or in the normal story, where he huffed and he puffed and he deliberately blew the houses down? I wonder whose side you're on. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. Oh, I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked the brick house. No answer. I called. Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Oh, how rude. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake, when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed, and once again I sneezed, and then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin!" Oh, he is a grumpy little pig, isn't he? Goodness me, all this huffing and puffing, but of course, as we know, he doesn't blow the brick house down, does he? I wonder what's going to happen next. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, cops is the American word for the police. Of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Yes, it does look quite suspicious, doesn't it? Oh, and the rest, as they say, is history. And there's the newspaper headline, "The Big Bad Wolf," huffing and puffing. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the Big Bad Wolf. And that's it, the real story. I was framed. So he was made to look like he'd done something that he hadn't really done. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that's the end of the story. So I wonder if that has changed your view on the Big Bad Wolf. Are you on his side now? Or do you think that he's still quite untrustworthy? I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.